Hello folks, I am the Bitter Clinger, and these are the top 10 things I wish I'd known about Pathfinder Kingmaker when I started playing the game. Now fair warning, this video may contain some minor spoilers, but nothing you're not going to find out in the first 20 minutes of playing the game. Alright, so let's get right to it. Keep those torches. Now after the tutorial, 2 torches will appear in your inventory. Do not sell them, drop them, or in any way lose these torches. In fact, you'll want to put these torches in a weapon configuration on your 2 best melee characters. Your life will depend on these torches, and it will depend on them fairly early on in the game, so hold on to these torches. Keep your antiquities. As you might expect, you'll run across various treasure items in your adventures. Most of these items will say a merchant would pay well for that, or something to that effect. However, sometimes the item will say a well-grounded antiquities collector might pay handsomely for it. Keep these items. Do not sell these items to Oleg or any other merchant you run across in Chapter 1. Now, I'm also holding on to my hides because the text for those items is a little different. But I don't know for sure whether or not those items are more valuable later on. In any event, you definitely want to save your antiquities for later, and probably your hides as well. Storage available. Next to your bed at Oleg's, there's a chest you can use for storage. Simple enough, right? I mean, that's exactly what I thought the first time I saw it. But there's a quality of life feature in the game that can create some confusion. Whenever you go to exit a map area, you're presented with a list of all the loot items you'll be leaving behind. Now, you don't lose these items and they don't disappear, but you don't know that the first time you see this feature, which is exactly what happened to me. I saw this chest and figured, hey, this is probably storage. So I put a couple of items in there, namely the 2 torches I mentioned earlier, and went on my merry way. But when I went to exit the map, I got this scary message listing all of the things I was going to lose. Or at least that's how I read it first time I saw it. So let me reassure you, this chest is perfectly safe to use for storage. Masterwork means better. Pathfinder Kingmaker includes a little encyclopedia for terms and rules used in the game. However, one term you'll encounter in the game but won't find in the encyclopedia is Masterwork. Fear not, my friends, for I have a copy of the Pathfinder Core rulebook, which I've never used. Basically, the word Masterwork gives you a +1 modifier to your attack rolls, but not your damage rolls. And that's the difference between a Masterwork weapon versus a magic weapon with a +1 enhancement. The magical enhancement applies to both attack and damage rolls. So if you encounter creatures that can only be damaged by weapons with a +1 or better enhancement bonus, don't waste your money buying a bunch of Masterwork weapons because they're not going to work for that purpose. Rest and restoration. At some point in your adventures, one or more of your party members will suffer permanent attribute penalties. And the tooltip tells you that you can either sleep it off or use restoration magic in the form of a spell, a potion, or a scroll. Resting will restore 1 point per 8 hours of rest. So in a situation where one of my companions had lost 1 point of strength and 6 points of dexterity, that would require 6 rest periods to restore. She would get 1 point of strength and 1 point of dex on the first rest and 1 point of dex on each subsequent rest. Now, once you find out how dangerous resting can be in this game, you'll probably choose some form of restoration magic, potions being the most common. The potion of lesser restoration will restore 1 to 4 ability points. It could only restore 1 point just like resting, but it could also restore 4 points. So in the situation where my companion had lost 6 points of dexterity, I used 2 lesser restoration potions and recovered 2 points of dex on the first one and 4 points of dex on the second. Restoration potions are a little on the expensive side, so I only use them on characters that are down 2 or more points after clearing an area. Of course, I'll also use a potion to save a character's life because, as the tooltip states, when a character's attribute score reaches 0, they're dead. Ignore the haters. Don't panic if some of your tutorial companions choose not to join your party. You will run into them again and get another chance to pick them up. I can't say more than that without spoilers, and I don't know if you get any chances after the second chance, but you will certainly get a second crack at the companions that kicked you to the curb during the tutorial. Roll your own Merc. In addition to companions, you will be given the option to purchase mercenaries for a one-time fee of 2,000 gold coins. A slight tangent here. I've heard there is a way you can cheese the game and get these hirelings for 500 gold instead of 2,000. Now, I've never done it, and I don't know how to do it, but you can look it up for yourself if that's something that interests you. Now, regardless of how you get them, these are not pre-made, pre-rolled companions. You get to roll these hirelings yourself. You're basically creating a character from scratch, including choosing their name and alignment. Frankly, if they weren't so expensive, I'd prefer a party of custom mercenaries over the pre-made companions. Experience leeches. If you go to the difficulty settings in the options menu, there is a setting called Only Active Companions Receive Experience. This setting is turned off by default, and it will dilute the amount of experience you earn because it's dividing up your experience rewards with all the characters in the game, not just the ones that are in your party. Now, the benefit to that is when you run across one of your wayward companions, they'll be at or near your current level. On the other hand, if you're perfectly happy with the current party makeup, or you're trying to do a solo run or something like that, you'll definitely want to turn this on because you want to stop that experience sharing. And by the way, since this is a difficulty setting, you don't have to worry about turning it back whenever you create a new character for another playthrough. Difficulty settings are per character or per playthrough, if you will. Rebind character select keys. One thing you're going to be doing a lot of in this game is selecting characters and selecting your party. Now, the party select keybind is backspace by default, and the character select keybinds are alt number combinations. Personally, for me, the backspace key is not conveniently located, and frankly, the alt key isn't all that convenient either. So I rebound the character and group select keys. Now, here's a problem with the character select keybinds. They're bugged. So, do you know how in most CRPGs, if you hold the control key and click a character, you're actually adding that character or removing that character from the currently selected list of characters? Yeah, that doesn't work in this game. However, if you but if you rebind your character select keys, which are supposed to act like clicking on the character, so it should be a unique character selection. It actually works like holding down the control key and clicking them. It adds them or removes them to the currently selected list of characters. That's the bug. But the group keybind actually works, so I use that a lot. So these rebinds will save you a few clicks, and they'll save you a lot more clicks once they get the bugs worked out. Cheese. Okay, I admit it. I'm cheesing you guys with this last one just so I could get my list of things to 10, but still, some of you might appreciate it. One of the first things you're going to want to do is turn the music volume down because it overpowers everything else in the game. Don't be shy on that. Just grab that slider and put it at 50%. That's a pretty fair starting point, and you can do your fine-tuning from there. Also, since there's quite a bit of micromanagement in this game, you'll get tired of hearing the voice feedback from your character every time you select it. So you can change the voice response frequency right here in the same sound options where you set the volume. Well, that's it for me, folks. I wanted to just keep this video short and sweet. I hope you're having as much fun playing Pathfinder Kingmaker as I am. Until next time, this is Bitter Klinger, signing out.